Hey, it's Ruby Dixon, and I'm in Ballito, South Africa, and I'm going to be asking people what they do for a living, how much money they make, and other juicy questions. If you've ever thought about hiring overseas, I think you'll be blown away by the talent, and especially how much more affordable it is versus hiring domestically. Let's go. So what's your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Melissa. I am 33 and I'm in consulting and banking consulting.
So how long have you been doing this for?
About 6 years.
And do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
I do. I love what I do, yeah.
Did you go to university?
Yes, I did.
Did you think it was beneficial or a waste of time?
No, definitely beneficial. Yeah, it was tough, but it was good.
What was the best lesson that you learned?
At university, hard work. So really putting in the hours. You know, you can't really get by with doing as little as possible. You've got to really put your nose to the grind and get it done.
Have you ever worked remotely?
Yes, I have.
And would you ever work for an international company?
Yes, I would, definitely.
What do you think the benefits of working for an international company would be?
I think when you come back to South Africa, that international exposure is really valued in the market. So having that experience is very helpful in getting a job here.
And on a month-to-month basis, how much money are you currently making?
In a bracket of about 60 to 80,000.
Do you feel well compensated?
Yeah, I do. I'm at a company that recognizes their worth of their people and really recognize your contribution that you make.
And what do you think is a comfortable amount of money to be making in South Africa in 2024?
Oh, that's a tough question. I think, it always feels like it's never enough because, people are always chasing the dream, always trying to afford a property, afford a bigger property when they have one. I think the bracket that I'm in is comfortable.
And then what advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, that's a tough one. I think trust your gut. You'll find your way in the end. Follow what you feel is the right path for you and you'll get there eventually.
What do you think the world needs more of?
Oh, that's a tricky question. I think good people who are just there doing the right thing and being kind to one another and understanding and compassionate. I think people sometimes forget that, and I think the world at the moment is just a very insane, hectic place, and we could do with a bit of kindness.
And then lastly, I want you to pitch yourself in 20 seconds or less.
Oh, wow. Okay. My name's Melissa. I'm a hard worker. I love managing people. I think that I've got a lot to contribute to the workplace. And yeah, I'm very passionate with what I do. I'm passionate about banking. I'm passionate about finance. And yeah, that's me.
So what is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
So my name is Jan Venter. I am 28 years old for the next few months. And I'm a business analyst in Joburg.
So how long have you been doing this for?
5 years at this point.
And how did you get into this industry?
So I started off in the accounting space and I decided that it's horrible. So then I decided to switch and knew some people that knew some people and ended up in consulting. So yeah, fun.
So did you go to university?
Yeah, so I went to university and completed my degree and my honours degree as well.
And did you think that it was beneficial?
Definitely. I think it just opens up doors and gives you some theoretical information that you can expand upon in future. Yeah.
And then how much money are you making on a monthly basis?
Before tax, a lot. After tax, not as much, but around about 50-ish thousand before tax.
And do you feel comfortable with the amount of money that you're making currently?
Definitely, yeah.
And what do you think is a comfortable amount for a South African to be making in 2024?
So, also coming from an industry previously, I think if you aren't making after tax more than 20,000 rand, I think you're going to be struggling quite a bit in the current financial climate.
And then the people around you, about how much money are they making?
So it depends. So the graduates earn quite a bit less than I do, and then obviously the partners earn probably 10 times to more than I do. But yeah, so in that range.
And then have you ever worked for an international company?
Yeah, so I've worked for a few throughout the years in the consulting space because we have many different projects, many different organizations, mostly in the banking space in my case.
And do you think it's been very beneficial for you to work internationally?
I think so. I think it just opens up your mind to different opportunities that are available. Because also you see some of the innovations taking place and I think it's something that can never be negative. So yeah, I think it really helps.
And would you continue to work for international companies?
Definitely. I think everything said, I think there's a lot of beneficial things. South African companies do a lot of great things as well, but I think getting that exposure at least helps a lot.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Start sooner. Start expanding your horizons sooner. So I don't think I made too many mistakes, but I think there's definitely a few things that you can start learning sooner. Getting onto Udemy and doing courses, degrees, and so forth will help a lot.
Okay, and then what do you think the world needs more of?
It needs more creatives, people that really just break the boxes and think outside of, well, their comfort zones. I think that will help a lot.
I want you to pitch yourself in 20 seconds or less.
So in world, one of the things that you need is to be innovative, to be unique, and to build upon what is existing and get towards a new space. So as a management consultant, I can assist you with this journey. I will analyze what you've got, I will look at what's broken, and together we will make a change to fix this. Moving into the future together.
Okay, so what is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
I'm Matthew, I'm 26 and I'm a financial advisor.
So how long have you been doing this for?
About 2.5, 3 years.
And do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
I love it, very passionate about it.
So did you go to university and study?
No, but I'm going to study further.
Do you regret not going to university initially?
No, I think I've learned more in the field than I would have learned studying.
Would you like to work for an international business?
Depends, if it's a side business maybe, but I'm very passionate about what I do, so I'd probably stay where I am.
What do you think the benefits would be of working for a company internationally?
You earn dollars or international currency.
So on a monthly basis, about how much money are you making now?
Between 30 and 50.
And do you feel comfortable with the amount of money that you're making currently?
I always want to earn more, I think, but at the moment I'm happy with what I'm earning.
And how much money do you think is comfortable for people to be earning in South Africa in 2024?
Between 50 and 100 to live independently and on your own, yeah.
And then what advice would you give your younger self?
Probably just be persistent, stay consistent, and follow whatever your heart takes you to. I'm not really sure.
And then what's the best advice that you've ever been given by someone older than you?
Probably don't chase money. Just work hard. Work and stay where you are passionate, and then you'll do well.
What is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Liza. I'm 27 years old, and at the moment I'm an accounting clerk.
So how long have you been doing this for?
8 years.
And do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
No.
What is your dream job?
A nutritional coach. I'm studying for it.
Did you go to university?
I did study online with Inisa, but at the moment I'm studying with precision nutrition.
Have you ever thought about working for an international company?
Yeah, maybe virtually.
What do you think the benefits would be?
I'll be able to work from home. Earn maybe more money.
So how much money are you currently earning on a month-to-month basis?
12,000 rand, in South Africa.
So do you feel comfortable with the amount of money that you're earning at the moment?
A little bit, yeah.
So how much money do you think is comfortable to make in South Africa in 2024?
About 20,000 rand.
Okay, and what advice would you give your younger self?
To live more in the moment, not to be stressed about the next thing I have to do.
Okay, so what is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Leonie, I'm 40 and I work in fashion.
So how long have you been in this industry for?
About 16 years.
And do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
I do, I love it. It's very challenging. It's not always as glamorous as it sounds. Can be very hard, but yeah, I do love it.
What got you into this?
I think just the love of fashion, and then I had a friend who works in the industry, so she kind of got me into it. But yeah, I've never looked back.
And did you go to university and study anything?
I did not. So
do you regret that?
I don't. Not for 1 second.
So do you think that it helped you not going to university so that you could find a passion in other ways?
I think so. I think, I've gotten to where I am by like really, really hard work. So yeah, for me, it worked out. So yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at now. Yeah.
So how much money are you making at the moment on a month-to-month basis?
Around 50k South African rands.
So do you feel well compensated?
I do, yeah.
What do you think is a comfortable amount to be making in this country in 2024?
I'm sure that's a tricky question. I would say like an average salary of 30,000 would make you comfortable. Not wealthy, but comfortable.
Have you ever thought about working for an international company or moving your company international?
Yeah, all the time. I think that's like an amazing opportunity. To work with an international company would be incredible.
What do you think the benefits are of working with an international company?
I think just the exposure. I think like working with different cultures and different ways of working. I think it's always going to benefit you. Meeting different people from different places. I think that's always beneficial.
What advice would you give your younger self?
Just keep at it. Confidence gets you a long way. Yeah, sometimes you've got to wing it. And that's okay. And it's okay to make mistakes. Make those mistakes. That's how you learn. Just look forward, keep moving forward.
Okay, so what is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
I'm Louise. I am 29 years old and I work in finance in credit control.
So how long have you been doing this for?
5 years.
And do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
I do. It's stressful, but I enjoy it.
Did you go to university?
No, I did not. I was taught by financial accountants to do what I do.
Do you regret not going to university?
Sometimes I do, because I think if I went to university, I would have been getting a much higher salary than I do at the moment. But at the same time, not having gone means I'm open up to a world of professionalism. So,
Have you ever worked for an international company?
I work for one at the moment.
What do you think the benefits of working for an international company are?
Firstly, travel. Because I could go and visit our overseas offices someday. But I think also just the scale of the company means that there's so much more room for growth. So even though I work in finance, I could move into any division and be able to flourish.
And then how much money are you making on a month-to-month basis currently?
My gross is about 24.
And how much money do you think is comfortable for a South African to be earning in 2024?
Definitely over 26. I think with our cost of living, especially where I live, which is in Pretoria, the cost of living is so much higher than here in Durban. So someone needs to be earning about 26 to live comfortably.
And the people around you, about how much money are they earning?
They are qualified to do what they do, so they earn between the ranges of 30 and 50,000.
And then what do you think that the world needs more of?
Kindness and empathy. I think that's what we need more of, because if you don't know how to take care of people within your organization, the people in your organization won't do anything to take care of it. So being kind and being empathetic towards employees and people in general is what makes the world a better place.
And do you work with a team?
I do work in a team. We're a team of 7 people.
And do you enjoy working with other people?
I do. I love people, so I love being able to work with others.
And then what advice would you give your younger self?
Follow your passion. If I followed my passion, I'd be teaching. I wouldn't be working in finance, but I don't regret any of the decisions I made.
And then lastly, I want you to pitch yourself in 20 seconds or less.
Okay, I am fun, I am vibrant, I'm a hard worker, and I never say no to making mistakes, because that's how we learn to better ourselves every day.
Okay, so what is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Shane. I'm about 25. We are based in Palito. We do all types of printing, flyers, business cards, brochures, stuff like that, and also designing and signage.
So how long have you been doing this for?
I can say like 3 years.
And do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
Yeah, of course, it's a nice job, soft and easy. Just needs you to use your brains, that's all.
And do you work with a team?
Yeah, I work with a team. We are like 4. Yeah, but we are looking forward to expanding more.
And what do you think the benefits of working with a team is?
When you're working with a team, you get to share ideas with other people, what they think, and also what's their vision for the company. So you get to extend some of the things that you don't know, and you also get to learn.
And did you go to university or not?
Practically, yeah, stuff like. But it was an online course and stuff for graphic designing and stuff, yeah.
And would you ever work for an international company in graphic design?
Of course.
What do you think the benefits of working for an international company would be?
Well, you get to learn more things from abroad, and you get to meet new people, yeah. And the change of would be nice.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
I would say to never give up on your dreams. Keep pushing.
Would you prefer not to work a 9 to 5? Would you prefer to work remotely?
I would say both, because I can manage both, because I love money. So like when I reach home, I work the remote job, 9 to 5, I'm also working.
And on a month-to-month basis, how much money are you making?
I would say maybe about 10 to 12K.
And do you feel well compensated? Do you feel comfortable with the amount of money that you're making?
Yeah, I would say that pretty much. I would say that, yeah.
And how much money do you think is comfortable for a South African to be making in 2024?
Because money is not buying these days, so I would say maybe a person deserves more like 15K and stuff.
So what is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Jared Pavasic. I'm 17 years old and I freelance as a digital marketer.
So how long have you been doing this for?
A year and a half.
So because you're 17, I'm assuming you're still in school?
Yes, I'm in grade 11 now.
So how come you've started your business before you finished school?
At the moment, I work as a bartender as well for a local bar near where I live. And I just thought I should find another way for some cash flow because that wasn't the most efficient.
And then on a month-to-month basis, how much money are you currently making?
Between 6,000 and 7,000.
Do you feel like that is enough?
It's sufficient, but I feel like I would like to make quite a bit more.
What do you think a comfortable amount of money is to make in South Africa in 2024?
At my age, probably 15 to 20 is more than enough, but obviously a bit older, if I'm living by myself, maybe 40 and up.
Have you ever thought about working for an international company?
I'd love to.
What do you think the benefits of working for an international company would be?
The experience, being able to travel the world if it isn't from home, and getting to meet new people and make new connections.
And then what's the best advice that you've ever been given?
Probably to work hard and just not care what other people think.
Okay, and then I want you to do an elevator pitch in 20 seconds or less.
My name is Jared Pavasic. I'm 17 years old, and I would say I work really hard when it comes to school, my business that I started up, and my job as well as a bartender.
Your age and what do you do for a living?
I'm Jonathan Moelman. I'm 40 years old and I'm a classical guitar player.
So how long have you been doing this for?
My whole life.
And do you love doing what you're doing?
Yes.
Did you go to university?
Yes, I did. I have a master's degree in guitar, in music, yeah.
Have you ever thought about working for an international company?
Never.
How come?
Because you don't go into music if you want to do corporate stuff, you know? Yeah.
How much money are you making on a month-to-month basis currently?
R1 million a month. No, just kidding.
You're fabulous.
Just kidding, no. Like between 35 and 40 a month.
So do you feel well compensated?
Do I feel well compensated for what I do? No, I'm overworked and underpaid, like everybody.
What do you think is a comfortable amount of money to be making in South Africa in 2024?
If you want to be comfortable, that depends on the person, I guess. But comfortably, I guess between 40 and 70 and you're pretty comfortable, I guess. But that depends. For some people, that's nothing.
And what is the best advice that someone has ever given you that you've taken with you?
Always carry an umbrella.
So what is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
Jonathan Peters Newman, 33, and I own a LinkedIn marketing agency.
So how long have you been in this industry for?
Communication, I've been in for about 13 years.
Did you go to university?
Yeah.
What did you study?
I went to advertising school.
And did you think that it was worth your time?
Yes, it was very expensive. Who knows whether or not that's paying dividends, but yeah, I would say very, very good experience, highly recommended.
Have you ever worked for an international company before?
I work with clients in Dubai, Europe, the US, UK. Yeah, I work with local and international clients, yeah.
And do you think it's been beneficial for you?
Getting paid in dollars is always beneficial, yeah, and euros and whatever, yeah, it's good.
If you were to guess from one company, how much are they paying you on average?
We charge about $1,800 per client per month. We've got about 15 to 20 clients.
So do you feel well compensated because of the fact that you're getting paid in dollars? Is that helping you a lot?
Yeah, to be clear, not all dollars. Some rand, some dollars, some euros. Yeah, it's good, especially given the exchange rate.
So do you think that it's helped you build up yourself by working for an international company?
Yes, very much.
And how do you think that it's helped you?
International exposure, international experience, working with amazing CEOs and founders that want to change the world.
And what advice would you give your younger self?
Probably would have done this sooner. Opportunity came my way, I took it. Yeah, I would say just go on your own path sooner, I would say, rather than the corporate 9-to-5 route, you know.
Okay, so I want you to try and pitch yourself in 20 seconds to an international client.
Sure. Jonathan Peters Newman from Story Labs. Everyone's got a story. My job is to tell yours. And if you want to make money and build your brand, both on a personal and corporate level, you should get me and my company to do it.
What is your name, your age, and what do you do for a living?
My name is Reagan Thomas. I'm 44 years old and I'm a transport manager.
So how long have you been doing this for?
About 15 years.
And do you enjoy doing what you're doing?
I actually love it, eh? Yeah, always, something different, challenges every day, yeah.
And did you go to university at all?
Not really. I finished school and I just straight onto the job, eh?
And would you ever work for an international company?
If I had the opportunity, I guess I would. Maybe because maybe I get to travel, see the world a bit, yeah.
On a month-to-month basis currently, how much are you making?
About 40K.
How much money do you think is comfortable to make in South Africa in 2024?
Maybe about 50, 60K, I think you can have a good life.
What would you say is the best advice you've ever been given?
I think the best advice will be always follow your dreams and always go ahead and do it. Don't let anyone hold you back.
And when you were growing up, what was your dream job?
I think I wanted to be an architect, eh?
How come you never did that?
I guess I just didn't go for it, eh? I think it was obviously a money issue. We couldn't afford it.
And if you could pitch yourself in 20 seconds or less, us, what would you say?
Hi, I'm Reagan Thomas and I'm a transport manager and I'm living the dream.
Thank you so much.
Okay, cool.
Have a lovely day. So there you have it. Asking South Africans what they do for a living. We got a ton of interesting responses. And I hope that this gave you a good idea of the type of people that live in South Africa and their typical salaries. If you're looking to hire fully vetted talent from South Africa or even other countries, make sure to check out the website at the link down below or book a free call with our team. We can help you brainstorm what roles to hire for